You are live.
Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. It's Tuesday, $5 Tuesday. We're diving into a little bit of everything. Jesse's going to give us a couple college football teams to fade. Got two big boys we're fading this week. We're going to break down some college basketball as well. My good friend Lawrence is going to join us to break down Chiefs, Cowboys, big NFL Thanksgiving game. Then we got a good game tonight, Stars and the Oilers. I'm going to give you a double header breakdown in the NBA, Magic 76ers, Clippers, Lakers, and we'll do some free plays in all around the world. Let's get to it. Shout out to you guys. David, I see you're in the chat. David won a bet against me. So, David, congratulations. You get a 3-day pass. I will be reaching out to you. Customer service will be reaching out to you, and we'll get you hooked up. Congratulations. I had the Eagles minus 3.5. Boy, 21-0. I look great. David gets the win in the cover, so congratulations to you. Let's bring in Jesse. Jesse, let's get right to these fading these college football teams because, wow, I see your message come through on Slack, and we got some big boys that we're fading today. So let's start with Ole Miss. I feel like it's a very polarizing team and coach right now. Why are we fading Ole Miss?
Well, they're 10-1 straight up, 6-4-1 against the spread. They have a pretty soft schedule, so there is that to consider. They've won 2 of 3 road games. They've only played 3 road games. They're coming off a bye week. Prior to the bye, they won 34-24 at home versus Florida. But the big news is Lane Kiffin is rumored to be making an announcement ahead of this game about his plans for the future. A lot of people believe he's going to go to LSU. His daughter is dating the linebacker for LSU, Whit Weeks, so it might be a perfect fit, so to speak. I will point out, though, we went through this very similar situation a few years back with Auburn. Everybody thought it was a done deal. He was already gone to Auburn, and then he just pulled the old psych, and head fake. He wasn't going anywhere. I'm a little bit disappointed in Lane, though, because, this time around, Ole Miss is in the middle of a playoff run. They're 10-1. They have a chance to go to the SEC championship game, and I don't think they need this distraction. And regardless of whatever his announcement is going to be, I don't think you can make an argument that this isn't a distraction for the team. So that sets up a tough spot for Ole Miss, but that's not the only reason to like Mississippi State here in the Egg Bowl. They've had a pretty good bounce back season. Pat Jeff Lebby on the back, 5-6, 8-3 against the spread. So they've been covering spreads. They're 3-3 at home, and they're playing for bowl eligibility. And for a lot of teams, that's not a big deal. But for a team that has lost as many games as Mississippi State over the last decade, that is a big deal. They've lost close games in SEC play to Tennessee, Florida, and Texas in overtime. They beat a ranked Arizona State team, and they do have themselves a quarterback. Blake Shapen is playing quite well at Mississippi State, coming over from Baylor. His home-away split's particularly interesting. 11 touchdowns, 2 picks, 62% passing. He's averaging 8 yards per attempt in his home games. This is a huge game for Mississippi State. The cowbells will be ringing, and I like their chances of winning this game outright. We'll take the 7 points. There might be a 7.5 available, but we're obviously going to sprinkle on the money line as well.
All right, care to make things interesting? I'm not buying this. And by the way, thank you for saying dating Lane Kiffin's daughter. There were a lot of verbs that could have gone in there. So thank you. All right, head-to-head bet time. I will take this Ole Miss team. I'm just looking at some of Mississippi State's performances against ranked opponents. It just hasn't gone well. Big losses to Missouri, to Georgia, and what if Lane stays? What if he stays? Isn't this a like?
I mean, that's a possibility. Thing? I think there's no question that Mississippi is 7 points better than Mississippi State. I just don't know if this is the right spot in Starkville in the Egg Bowl. I think this game gets interesting, but I'm happy to place that bet with you. Tell me the particulars. I'm interested to hear the particulars.
Okay, we'll do 7. We'll do 7 points. I got Ole Miss minus the 7. You get Mississippi State plus the 7. That's the lock number. We're going to do exactly what we did on Friday. David was the big winner on that one. So here's what we do. After the show is over, in the comments section, type whether you think Andy's side is the right side or Jesse's side is the right side, and then your WagerTalk username. And whoever wins, we'll pick one from that side, and you get a free 3-day pass. Thanksgiving. Might as well be thankful for something. So I'm on Ole Miss. Jesse is on. And by the way, if Lane announces he's leaving before this game, well, that 7's completely gone. But we'll lock in the 7. No doubt. So that's a really good one. I love the take, and we'll see what happens. That's right out. That's a day after Thanksgiving. So yeah, a lot of potential distractions on that one. You're going to another big team here. Let's talk about this Oregon Ducks team. You're not buying them this week either, huh?
Yeah, it's another case, Andy, of Oregon is the better team here. There's no question. On paper, Oregon should be able to win this game by at least a touchdown. The Ducks are 9-1, 5-4-1 against the spread. They've won all 4 of the road games, and they're coming off that big 42-27 win over USC. But does that set them up for a letdown here at Washington? If you look at some of the road games, 18-16 at Iowa, 30-24 in overtime at Penn State. They did lose at home to Indiana. This Ducks team is just 3-3 straight up in their last 6 at Washington. These two teams very familiar with each other. They former Pac-12 rivals, and Oregon has always struggled at Washington. In fact, only one of those last 6 head-to-head meetings in Washington have the Ducks won by 6 points or more. Washington's a good team. They're 7-3 straight up, 5-5 against the spread. They're 5-1 at home. Their only loss at home came to Ohio State. And I hear a lot of people using this game as evidence that Oregon can't compete with good teams because they lost 24-6 to Ohio State. I think that score was a little bit misleading. I don't like Oregon's chances of holding Washington to 6 points. And the fact that Ohio State scored only 24, I think, says a little bit about Washington. Speaking of Washington, they scored 48 points at UCLA last week. They scored 49 points at home against Purdue in their last home game. And a hot take that I'm sure I'll hear about in the comments section, I think Washington actually has the better quarterback. Dante Moore gets all the hype, but Damon Williams, he's thrown for 2,721 yards, 19 touchdowns, 6 picks, 72% completion percentage on the year. But let's take a look at his home-away splits. 10 touchdowns, no picks at home, 77% completion percentage. I think Damon Williams is the better quarterback in this game. I think Washington keeps this game close. I will take the points plus 6.5, and we're going to sprinkle on the money line here as well, Andy.
Wow, that is a hot take on the quarterback. I'm looking at my guy Mendoza to throw for a few touchdowns here this weekend and see if we can get that Heisman to Bloomington. Again, IU being a football school and potentially having a Heisman winner is just, I still can't.
Well, it's too bad that Penn State game was a few weeks ago, because if that was fresh in everybody's mind, how they won that game and that, last minute touchdown, I think that was his Heisman moment right there.
That is a great point. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, you're right.
The problem is some of the other guys have conference championship games and big rivalry week games this week that are a grander stage to shine. They'll have the opportunity to get that moment fresh in the minds of everybody.
How do you approach the end of this college football season? How do you approach these potential coaches leaving, these opt-outs? Is there a particular strategy, or you just take it game by game?
I guess you got to say take it game by game. I mean, we don't often see coaches like this. Lane Kiffin situation is unprecedented. I mentioned it happened before with the Auburn rumors, but they weren't a playoff team at that point. So yeah, the coaching situation with Lane Kiffin is a bit of a unicorn, but at this point in the season, we've had all year to get familiar with these teams. We've got all the data to work with, so it's kind of smooth sailing at this point. I've always done very well at this time of year, both in college and pro football, because like I said, we've spent the entire season doing our homework on these teams. So we're not expecting as many surprises as we do in the middle of the year. Not to say that there won't be surprises on the field, but we should be seeing these in advance, which is exactly what I'm trying to do in this segment right here.
Yeah, so we get to bowl season and you see teams with some players like opting out. Is that good or bad? Do you look at it as like, oh, they're losing their talent, or you got some motivated guys coming in off the bench. It's their time to shine. Maybe some seniors. I found there's to be some pretty decent spots with some of these guys that actually want to play.
Yeah, I try to stay away from bowl games where it's a meaningless game and players are opting out. I try to look for teams that are extremely ecstatic to be in a bowl game. You know, these lesser teams from the American Athletic Conference or the Sun Belt teams that making a bowl game for them is like their Super Bowl. I don't want to bet on a team that just missed the playoffs and all their players are opting out. I don't want to bet on them, and I don't want to fade them either because, like you say, some of these teams have fantastic backups that will be motivated. It's too many variables, so I like to eliminate those games altogether.
Let's move to college basketball. And you were saying before, like, like it's really hard to have a grasp on all of these teams. You have how many 360 teams, and they're all like dealing with brand new rosters and everything. And case in point, we gave you Michigan versus Auburn, and you were telling me it's like all new rosters for these two teams. It's like there's no continuity.
Yeah, I mean, I made a comment on last week's show about how I handicap college basketball and the fact that there's 360 teams, so I can't be completely up to date and have a solid opinion on these new rosters where you got a couple freshmen, you got a starting lineup full of transfers. We're only 3 games into the season. I want to wait and see how they gel, how they progress moving forward. So I usually lean on betting totals. I gave out a total last week. It hit. We got some complaints because of what I said about the trying to be up to date with all 360 teams, new rosters. But I gave you a winning pick, so I hope you're not complaining too hard. We're going to give out a total here in this game. We got Michigan and Auburn in Las Vegas. Michigan comes in as a 4-point favorite. Total 160.5. Money probably coming in on the over. Michigan scored 94 points in a win over San Diego State yesterday. They shot 50% from the field. Michigan ranked number 7 in the AP poll, number 15 in KenPom. They're led by senior forward Yaxel Lendenberg, who's a transfer from UAB. As I mentioned, both these teams loaded with transfers and freshmen. I think Michigan's got one guy returning in among their top 6 scorers, and he wasn't even a starter last year. So, 5 of their 6 top scorers are new faces to the lineup. Auburn comes in 5-1. They're coming off an 84-73 win over the Oregon Ducks. They shot 46% from the field. They were really struggling from beyond the arc. 5 of 23, 22% from three-point range. I expect Auburn to shoot the ball better here. Auburn ranks 21 in the AP poll, 23 in KenPom, and they're led by senior forward Keyshawn Hall, team best 22 points per game. He's transferred in from UCF. Much like Michigan, 5 of their top 6 scorers are transfers or freshmen, so new faces. But when we're looking at the total, we look at pace of play, and that doesn't actually matter as much who these new faces are. It's about the system they play, the possessions per game, the tempo, the pace. And Michigan right now, one of the fastest teams in the country, averaging 80 possessions per game. That's up from last year. They averaged 73 possessions per game last season. Auburn's gone over in all 6 of their games so far. They're averaging 75 possessions per game, which is also up from last year. They averaged 71. Auburn is a team that is happy to run when they play a dance partner that wants to run. Michigan likes to play with pace. They have a dance partner here. I expect a back and forth game, a lot of possessions, which will lead to a lot of buckets. This total is high. It's high for a reason. We're going to go over 160.5, Andy.
I like it. You were mentioning totals is a really good way for you to kind of to get some plays in on college basketball where you don't need to like completely depend on the players and the spreads, right?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's more about the tempo, more about how many shots each team's going to put up, how fast they're going to play, and how they're going to play, how the matchup is going to dictate that pace, and whether or not one team's going to be able to force the other team to play at their speed.
Nice. It's $5 Tuesday. Jesse, what do you have up for everyone?
I have a college basketball total for my $5 Tuesday play. I've already got a 5% play up for college football on Saturday. I've cashed in 3 straight college football 5% the last 3 Saturdays. I'm 100% perfect, 8-0 with 5% money line sides in the calendar year of 2025. So we're going for 9-0 this Saturday with a money line play in college football.
I love it. Let's make it 9-0. Let's have a great Thanksgiving. Jesse Schule, everyone. Great breakdowns. And don't forget, Jesse and I are going head-to-head in the Mississippi State Ole Miss game. Put in the comments after the show. If you put it in the live chat, we're not going to see it. It's got to be after the show in the comments section. Put whether you think Jesse's side is the right side, Andy's side is the right side, and then put your WagerTalk username. Whatever side is right, we'll go in there and we'll pick a winner, and you get a free 3-day pass. It is $5 Tuesday. Handicappers can put up a $5 play. We encourage you to get as many as you feel comfortable with. I do a player prop every single day in NBA and NHL. Today's play is only $5. Not a ton of games. There's a couple of good spots. One jumped out, and that is a plus money play. So the only thing better than a plus money winner is a plus money winner at $5, hitting 57% over the last couple seasons. So player props have been pretty good. Last night, kind of a wash. We had a winner in Monday Night Football, winner in NHL, loser in NBA. So we're back at it today with a $5 play. So partner up. Let's get this Thanksgiving week started off right, and let's cash in a winner. Let's bring in Prez. Let's get his thoughts on some of these games, and we'll break down some NBA games. Lawrence,
my man,
Tuesday, you're back. He's back. It's been a while. Where have you been? You were on vacation, poker, both?
Last Tuesday, I was supposed to be playing poker. I ended up canceling because my dad had surgery. I was able to do the show, but Chris Allen had already booked another guest. I did not pull my owner's card and have your other guest forcibly removed. Instead, I just let it happen. I let it happen. I missed you though, dude. New helmets.
Oh, what'd you get?
Well, they're not new. I just rotated. I rotated.
They're new to us. They're new to our background. So
yes.
But by the way, what a missed opportunity. You all need to have actual owners cards. And by the way, I'm implementing that in my production company right after this show because that is a fantastic idea. Like, no, you're covering Friday. Nope, owner card.
Okay,
playing the owner card.
So, how many staff do you have in your? Aren't you not the only employee?
No. It's my business partner. We have a head engineer, and then we have a bunch of independent contractors.
Oh, okay. Owner's card then required. And you probably should give one to your wife as she's the actual boss.
Yes. He's properly dressed. That's how he always dresses. So,
I hope. Oh, wait, is that my boy who doesn't like the way I dress? Oh yeah, underdressed. Okay.
I got that too with my sweatshirt. Somebody said I was wearing a 10-year-old sweatshirt that cost $15. My brother, I wish my sweatshirts cost $15. Holy cow. Where are you getting $15 sweatshirts?
Well, this is a true classic waffle hoodie. I buy them in packs of 6. I have one in every single color.
Nice. The Amazon special. All right, Lawrence, we got to break down a couple games here. We're going to go, let's start in NFL. We got Thanksgiving, we got Chiefs and the Cowboys, and then we got an interesting game, Stars and the Oilers. But let's start with this NFL game. Chiefs coming off of a huge win, Cowboys coming off of a huge win. This is turned into maybe game of the week. What an interesting game here. KC 3.5 on the road. Okay, over under 51. What do you think of this game?
Andy, I'm gonna talk a little bit about this game, and then I'm gonna give you the most mind-blowing trend of the year, maybe ever. Okay, so firstly, Originally you got to look at Dallas here. We're in a very similar situation to what Dallas had to deal with Philadelphia last week. Plus 3.5 at home against a real good team, a team that went to the Super Bowl last year. And Dallas showed a lot of moxie. They went down 21-0. They missed a kick. And then they really started to play well. One thing we know about Dallas is their defense is not the same as their defense was prior to the trade. This team is playing well defensively. They held Las Vegas to 16. Okay, that doesn't sound as good as we thought at one time. Philadelphia to 21, and Philadelphia didn't score again. They showed a lot of moxie coming back as well, and Dak Prescott's numbers are sensational this year. CeeDee Lamb is playing good. This team is really coming together, and they're coming together at the right time. My initial reaction is take Dallas, take them at plus the 3.5, and yes, I think they could win this game. But then I did the best betting show ever with Art DeCesar and Joe Ranieri, and I did it this morning. And Joe came on and gave out a trend that messed me up. Andy, in the last 26 Thanksgiving games where a team was the road favorite, that road favorite won 25 out of 26 times. Against the spread, that road favorite was 20-6. So let's talk about that trend, Andy, because some trends carry weight and some don't. 25-1 straight up for a road favorite team on Thanksgiving, 20-6 against the spread. Kansas City is a road favorite. I cannot bet into that trend. I like Dallas, but I can't bet into that trend. I respect that trend. Thoughts?
It is a pretty good trend because, there are some trends that are just kind of laughable.
Most.
Yanni and I were talking about that yesterday about I can make any trend 100% if I wanted to. But there is something about Thanksgiving games. They're very unique.
So,
There's a holiday involved. There's a short week involved. Some of the scheduling thing. And if you're a favorite, you're expected to win. But as we know, the favorites don't always win. We have seen the dogs play pretty good on Thursday night games, but I think I'm going to agree with you on this one. This trend holds some water. It's too good to ignore.
Yeah, and Art DeCesar broke it down from his perspective on the best betting show ever, which, by the way, most people who have watched that show has renamed it the funniest betting show ever. Why Art feels that trend carries weight from a bookmaker perspective is that it's late in the season, so that a lot of the funky stuff has sort of played itself out. Now the teams that are going to make a run for the playoffs start making a run. So teams like Buffalo or Philadelphia, every year you see them lose 3 or 4 games, but it's always early. Once we hit that last week of November, that first week of December, the best teams play their best ball. So from that perspective, we would assume favorites will cover a little bit greater at the end of the season than they do at the beginning of the season. Conversely, better teams play better as the playoffs get closer, and that works as well. And again, better teams are better off of a short rest. So there is a lot of merit to that trend. So to break that game down, I like the Dallas Cowboys at plus 3.5. I think that's the right bet. I am laying off of it simply because of that trend. It's just too big to ignore. So sorry I don't have a definitive opinion, but I gave you guys a trend you can write down and use for the next 10 years.
And you can use it on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
With your family. Hey, did you guys know that? Okay, so I'm looking at it right here. I think this trend, the last 26 games, I believe it goes back to November 26th.
Well, the Giants were the last team to win in 2009, I think it was. They were the last team to lose. They were out of the 26 times the Giants lost to Denver in Denver as a favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. People are asking about, how many times was it the Lions when they were dogs? But the trend is
It's all
pretty impressive
irrelevant.
against the spread. Yeah. That's the thing
Yeah.
is the books were struggling to get the spread even right.
And it's so funny you say that, Andy, and I don't mean to regress here, but it's a really interesting conversation. When you speak to amateur bettors and you say, this team is, 25-1. Road favorites are 25-1 on Thanksgiving, and their response is, well, which road favorite? Or who did they play? Or what was Detroit like? Was it all teams against Detroit when they had their 15 years of horribleness? None of that matters. It's all factored into the line already. So
True.
it's completely irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Interesting. That's a good one. I'm totally going to use that on Thanksgiving. It's going to be a good one. You don't do anything on Thursday, right? You're just chilling while we're all stuffing our faces.
I'm doing the same shit you're doing, dude. I eat breakfast and lunch. I eat dinner. I mean, I go to the washroom. I pee. I hang out with family. Canadians do the same shit you guys do, bro. I don't eat turkey on Thanksgiving. I don't even understand the whole turkey. If turkey and cranberry were so good, you wouldn't eat it only one day a year. So I don't get it.
I am with you. It's just about the tradition, and there's something that just meshes about being just a complete glutton and stuffing your face and getting tired and then going back and stuffing your face even more. So
yeah,
I'll be traveling.
Glutton it on meat. Why turkey?
Well, so me, my wife, my mom are flying to Phoenix for vacation, and we booked a place where I have the choice of my main course. So I may not be having turkey. I may have thought this one out a lot.
Turkey's so dry, bro.
Not if you grill it or deep fry it. It's
bullshit.
It's
still
actually
dry.
Delicious.
I eat turkey 5 times a week because I eat them in sandwiches. I like Montreal smoked turkey. So yeah,
it's different.
And I like clubhouses. They have turkey in it. Anyway, nobody cares.
Bill is right. Turkey cranberry sandwiches are absolutely delicious.
Yeah,
if you've not had
that sounds great.
They are fantastic. Seth brings up a good point. Remember to set your scales back 15 pounds. We want to get accurate readings. Absolutely.
Andy, have you watched the Saquon Barkley documentary?
No.
This is a shirt he was wearing.
What is it? I can't see it.
It says Grateful Dead. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Saquon was rocking a Dead shirt on his documentary. My man. My man.
Let's move to NHL Stars, Oilers. Yeah. Not a ton of games in NBA or NHL tonight, but let's talk the Stars-Oilers game. What do you think about this one? Mikko Rantanen out for this game, suspended for his hit on Saturday. That almost tripped me up on a prop. So what do you make of this game?
Well, firstly, I think it's the best game on tap. Also the worst. The only way to bet this game, from my perspective, is to take the over. Now, there's 6 and 6.5s everywhere. Obviously, if you're going to take the over, I want you guys on 6. And to give you perspective, I'd rather you be on 6 minus 130 than 6.5 plus 105. So please take over 6 if you're going to bet this game. And the bottom line here, Andy, is I just don't want to overthink this. This Edmonton Oiler team is just so horrible defensively. I can't even wrap my head around it. They just can't keep the puck out of the net. Now, sure, they've had good games here or there. They kept Florida to 1 goal. Oh, great. They have allowed 9 and 7, 5 and 5 in 4 of their last 9 games. This is a team that allows 3 or more goals almost every single night. And I understand Rantanen is out, but this Dallas Stars team doesn't score less than 2 goals. Every single night, you can count on Dallas getting 2 or more. So if they get 2 or more every night they play, that includes playing defensive teams like Vegas or Tampa Bay. That includes playing defensive teams like Minnesota or Florida. So what do they do when they play teams that can't play defense? They jack up their goal average. I think we're going to get Dallas with 3 or 4 tonight. I think we're going to get Edmonton with 3 or 4 tonight. And yes, I understand Dallas is a team that likes to play to the under. This year, they're pretty much even on the over or under, and Edmonton can score. So here we have a situation where Edmonton is coming home from a long road trip. They're going to get last change on the ice. There's going to be power plays in this game, and both power play units are sexy as hell. And Edmonton can't keep the puck out of the net. Over 6 is the only way I would look. If I were to bet this game from a side perspective, I would go for broke and take Dallas in regulation at plus delicious money. So that's how I would attack the side, but I like the over 6.
I like it. Over. I didn't even think about that. People were in the chat before you came on trying to pick the winner. Yeah, don't pick the winner. Let's root for goals. Who doesn't love rooting for goals in a hockey game? That's the other good thing.
Well, who doesn't like rooting for goals in any sport if you consider runs and touchdowns goals, which technically they are goals. I mean, they're scores.
You set a goal for yourself, you reach it, it's a goal. So there's a good why.
Oh,
for Johnny Y.
Why is
it all called
Johnny Y again? Ay. Anyway, Andy, my brother, I've been watching this show a lot, and I want to congratulate you. The energy on the show is incredible. This show is a lot of fun that you're doing, bro.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you keep Art DeCesar in our lives. I was really bummed when he wasn't able to do this show, but I'm glad we still have Art in our
Art's
lives.
Unbelievable. Dude, on the
great.
best, funniest
so
betting
good.
show ever, Art is so good. Joe and I just sit back and listen.
No, Art is a hidden gem. You got a good one there. So, all right, it's $5 Tuesday, Lawrence. What do you have up for everyone?
Yeah, so I actually have a big day planned for my clients. By the way, last Tuesday, Andy, I went 5-0. So I swept last Tuesday. I don't even have 5 plays today, so I'm not going to go 5-0 this, but I hope to sweep. So let me start by telling you that I have my first 4% NBA play of the year. Now, look, I respect every handicapper at WagerTalk. Obviously, I'm one of the owners and I picked the team. But guys like Adam Trigger have 4% plays every night. Now, they're low-volume players, and I have no problem with that. Carmine has a 4% play every night. I got no problem with that. Brian Power, lots of 4% plays. 90% of my bets are 2 and 3% bets. Even more. I would say 95% of my bets stop at 3. So when I have a 4% play, it is very rare. To give you perspective, this is my first 4% play this year in NBA. Last year in NBA, I had 3 4% plays the entire year. I went 2-1 in them. So I have a 4% play up tonight in NBA. I am 60% on the NBA season. I am on a 7-1 NBA run. I've made over 100 units of profit in NBA over the last 3.5 years. I have not had a losing NBA season in 3 years. NBA is the sport that I am becoming best at for some reason. I don't even know how, but it's like 3.5 years of data supporting that claim. So I have my first 4% play, it's $5, and I also have a 5% NFL bet. You guys can get that for half price. Johnny Y would ask, why is there an L in half? I don't know. But if you use the promo code HALF price, that's HALF price, you get my 5% bet for half price. Thank you for having me, Andy.
That's a really good one. It's such an unnecessary L in there. Just
Total
HAF.
extraneous letter, huh?
It's like the L lobby who got involved was like, we need to be in some more words here. Pick a word that we can be in, and they were like, all right, we'll give you half. Now it's half.
Like it was like a game show. I'll take the letter L and insert it in health. Okay.
All right.
So that's what I got going, bro.
$5 Tuesday. Keep cashing, Lords. Appreciate you as always, and have a great Thursday, whatever you may be doing on that Thursday. So, all right, guys, please hit the like button. It really, really helps us out. Leave us a comment below. Remember, Jesse and I are going head to head. Put the word Jesse if you think Jesse's going to be right. Put the word Andy if you think I'm going to be right in the Ole Miss Mississippi State game. And then also put your WagerTalk username. Whichever side is right, we'll go in there and pick out a winner. And you get a free 3-day pass. All right, we've got all around the world, give out some free plays. Then we're going to break down some NBA games, get you all ready for some good action tonight. Again, not a lot of games in the NBA, NHL, but let's do some free plays. I'm going to go to a player prop in the Stars-Oilers game. This is a really weird one. We're going to go to Colin Blackwell, under 1.5 shots on goal. He's only gone over this in 2 games this season, under in 5 out of the last 6 games against Edmonton. He's only getting 4 minutes of ice time per period. However, Mikko Rantanen is out, and I went and looked, and last season when Rantanen was out, Blackwell went over about 50% of the time, so that's why that did not make this card. Didn't make the client card, just barely. College basketball, Quinnipiac at Central Florida. Central Florida minus 13.5. This comes off the Wager Talk free picks page from Ralph Michaels. Central Florida has rebuilt their team very quick this year. They've got some good transfers, and they've improved a lot over the first few games of the season. They should have a massive, huge rebounding edge. So Ralph likes Central Florida. Then we'll go to the Hawks Wizard. Nothing screams Thanksgiving week like a good prop in the Hawks and Wizards game. We're going to go Jalen Johnson over 1.5 made threes. He's gone over in 7 straight. He's only getting 4 attempts per game. That's a little nervous, but he's shooting 50% from threes. This guy is so good. He's so good. If you haven't watched him, he's such a talented player. Washington is 23rd in three-point percentage defense. So we're looking at Colin Blackwell under 1.5 shots. Central Florida minus 13.5, and Jalen Johnson over 1.5 made threes. All right. We got a doubleheader in the NBA tonight, so we're going to break down a couple of these games. Let's start with the Magic and 76ers doubleheader tonight on NBC. Magic opened at 1 point favorites. That is up to minus 2.5 with the total over 229.5. Obviously, the first thing that we have to do is we have to look at the rosters, and there's a lot going on tonight. Banchero is still out for Orlando. More on that in a second, because Orlando is playing with house money, and they can rest him until he's 100% healthy. They do not have to rush him back. Maxey and Paul George are probable tonight. Joel Embiid is questionable. If he plays, there is going to be a minutes restriction. That's what I'm reading, coming back from this knee injury, the knee injury that's plagued him most of his career. So 6 games with Banchero out of the lineup, this Orlando team, their offense has gotten better. They're up to 7th in points, 8th in three-point percentage. Now, the rebounding has slipped to 18th, but they're 14th in field goals made against. And with the 76ers, they're really struggling with inconsistency in starting lineups and injuries. They are shuffling guys inside and out. Edgecombe is going to be out tonight, and they started off the season with 4 straight wins. I don't think it was a coincidence that they didn't have Paul George and Joel Embiid to worry about how many minutes are these guys going to play. They just had their team that had their way to play, and they won 4 straight. Now they're 8-7. Their last 3 wins have been in overtime or one-score games. I really think moving forward, this team is just going to have to try and figure out, Paul George, Joel Embiid, are you in or you're out? Like we got to know one way or the other. I am going to go with the over 229.5 in this game. Orlando's offense is playing well. Their defense and rebounding, not so much. The last 3 games, this Orlando team is up to 10th in pace. That's a stat that would have been unheard of if you watched them last year. Philly is 11th the last 3 games in pace, and all 3 of these games easily have gone over for both teams in each of their last 3 games. So I would take the over at 229.5 if you're looking at player props. Trendon Watford, over 2.5 assists. He's gone over in all 3 games that Paul George has played, getting 6.7 potential assists. And he has played 1 game this season without Edgecombe in the lineup and Paul George in, and he had 7 assists in that one. Now, he went 7 for 7 on all his potential assists, but that stat cannot be ignored. $5 Tuesday, guys. My $5 best bet is in the NBA. We've hit 57% of our plays the last 2 seasons, so profitable this season. Dropped a couple of units last night, but we're looking forward to get back to our winning ways. Really happy with how we're building bankrolls with props. And every Tuesday, we do my favorite player prop on the board for $5 Tuesday. So go grab that. Having a really good run. We're in the top 3 in last 30 days, so we're seeing all sports really well. NBA has been one of them. Let's take a look at this Clippers and Lakers game. Lakers -5. Over under 229. I will just start off by saying I am so out on this Lakers team. It's not even funny. The Clippers, 21st in offensive rating, 25th in defensive rating. Their wins are to Charlotte, Dallas, New Orleans, Portland, and Phoenix. The Lakers have won 4 in a row. LeBron is back. Ayton is going to be out tonight. Kawhi is supposed to be playing tonight. I don't know if I totally believe that, but when he does play, he clearly does not look healthy. I've watched this team, and the eye test is really bad. This team is a lot of James Harden dribble the ball up the court and shoot a 3. I've watched Brook Lopez have a lot of possessions where they're calling for ISOs for him. It is an offense that is completely stagnant. I don't know why they are struggling so much with this team, but losing Norm Powell seems to really, really hurt them. I'm just going to take the Lakers -5. Luka is averaging 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 7.4 assists versus the Clippers. He absolutely loves playing the Clippers. I don't know where the animosity came from, but he just goes ballistic. And in 2 games last year, when Luka got to the Lakers, they were 2-0 against this Clippers team. I don't have a great player prop for you because I'm in play for my $5 Tuesday play. That is what my $5 play is in this one. But I will tell you, there's a really interesting trend here. This game is in LA. It's in LA, but it is technically at the Lakers, and the Clippers are wrapping up a big road trip. So even though they're in their home city, they're at a different building. The trend is first quarter total over on the road is 7-1 for the Clippers in their road games. Their starting unit just does not play any defense. They come out, they can score, but they don't guard anyone. And the first quarter total is 56.5. You get Luka that loves scoring a lot of points against this Clippers team, and you get a Clippers team that doesn't play defense early. I look at this first quarter over 56.5. Really has my attention. So looking at the Lakers -5, and we're looking at the Clippers-Lakers first quarter over 56.5. If you guys could do me a favor, please hit the like button and leave a comment below. Tell me which props, which games that you like in this doubleheader. Should be a good night in the NBA. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us on Wager Talk today. Norman Powell trade was bad for the Clippers. I mean, when he went to Miami, didn't you just know what was going to happen? It was like, oh, great, the Norm Powell. Norm Powell going to Miami. Now we know what's going to happen. Powell's been great, and it was just like, oh, Lord. Oh, no, that's a rough one. So, Bill, all right, we'll try and get your badge next to your name. I promise. You're one of the real ones. We at least owe you that. I'll look into
No,
it.
so in the chat, Andy, anyone who is in the chat that is a Wager Talk insider, they have a badge that denotes how long they've been an insider for. So it starts, with a jersey. It gets a little bit more involved as it goes on. So Bill, an OG Wager Talk insider, you better put some respect on him. So whenever you see, when it pops up on the show and you see this little mark next to anyone's name, that means that they're a Wager Talk insider. And what these folks get with Wager Talk insiders, as a matter of fact, we just recorded the Bet On It Thanksgiving edition. They did all 3 games and the Eagles games. Members can watch that live now. Other people probably not going to be able to see it until around 5 p.m. when it goes public. But if you want the lines before they move, what the Bet On It crew thinks, members get early access to every single video we post, and it's only $2.99. That and so much more. So that's what he was talking about. Put a little respect on Bill's name, as he is a Wager Talk insider, and we appreciate everyone doing it. It's a great way to say thank you to the channel. Obviously, the likes, the subscribes are amazing. You want to take that family to the next level, Wager Talk Insider is a great way to do that.
Yeah, I believe our UFC breakdown videos get released early as well, the insiders. So whenever we upload it, you're going to get first crack.
Basically,
at them.
you know how the YouTube background works, Andy? We like peeling back the curtain here, but you know how the background works on the YouTube end while it's doing all the processing and everything and optimizing it in YouTube, members, they get access to it. So once the video is loaded, if you're a member, you get to see it before anybody else.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Love it. Love it. Okay. Schedule for the rest of the week. We have our usual start time on Wednesday. We're off on Thursday for Thanksgiving. Then we will be back for our usual time for Football Friday. I will be out of town, but I will have all my stuff with me. So fingers crossed. Looks like the Wi-Fi in our Airbnb is going to be good to go. So we'll have our usual Football Friday cast and crew with Yanni, with Marco, with Teddy. Dana and I will be doing our Super Contest pick. Coming off a 3-2 week. Panthers didn't get home. Neither did the Eagles. But anytime we have a winning week, we'll take it. All right, $5 Tuesday. Get as many plays as you feel comfortable with. Make sure you're responsible. We don't want to have a ton of our bankroll in Tuesday, but it's a great night to have some fun. We got some really big games. My $5 play is in that Lakers and Clippers game. So partner up. Let's make some money tonight. Let's get Thanksgiving week started off right. Thank you very much for joining us. Shout out to you, chat. You guys killed it today. We'll see everyone tomorrow, same time. Good luck on your bets tonight. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care.